welcome to English in Brazil! E já que a gente tá nesse mês romântico de Dia dos Namorados aqui no Brasil, hoje a gente vai falar sobre pet names, ou seja, termos carinhosos para usar com a pessoa amada. Olha, quando a gente aprende uma língua estrangeira, mais do que aprender palavras e sentenças, a gente tem que aprender também a adequação, o uso dessas palavras e sentenças que a gente aprende. Ou seja, eu posso até aprender que supimpa seja uma palavra para dizer que legal em português, mas as pessoas não usam mais supimpa, né? Isso ficou lá no passado. Então eu não quero chegar em inglês e falar: oi, broto, tudo supimpa? Porque fica um pouco inadequado, um pouco ultrapassado. Então por isso eu resolvi falar sobre esses pet names, esses termos carinhosos, e eu vou perguntar para falantes nativos da língua qual é a percepção deles a respeito do uso de cada uma dessas expressões que eu selecionei aqui. Então para isso eu criei uma tackiness scale, uma escala de breguice, ou seja, eles vão ter que me dizer se o apelido carinhoso que eu falar é tacky, brega, se ele é mais ou menos brega, ou se ele é ok. Tudo bem, todo mundo usaria isso. E é claro que isso é uma grande brincadeira, né, gente? Se você quiser usar o que eles considerarem tacky, that's just fine. É só pra gente entender um pouquinho mais como é que funciona a língua e a gente aprender essa questão de uso mesmo, né? Então eu conversei com 3 professores do Cambly, que patrocina aqui o canal e que é uma plataforma na qual você pode fazer aulas de conversação com professores e tutores de diversas partes do mundo. E você pode gravar a sua conversa, você pode corrigir ali o que você errar através das anotações, enfim, é uma plataforma que eu gosto muito. E se você quiser experimentar, é só usar esse código aqui que você ganha uma aula de 15 minutos. Então aproveita o meu código e vamos lá pro vídeo. Okay, so the first one is honey.
Okay, it's a word that is very common in the United States. Everybody uses honey. It's also very delicious, and all you're saying to your partner is you are sweet and you are delicious.
I think that's meh. I would respond to it, and I might use it with my kids. I don't know if I'd use it with my boyfriend.
Meh. For me, it's actually more of a word that I use with my mom, so I wouldn't use it in my relationship.
Darling.
I like that one. Yeah, that's okay. I think especially because my boyfriend's British, so they use darling more over there. Darling in love, yeah.
No, tacky. With using it for my boyfriend wouldn't really actually work because darling is not a very masculine term either.
Okay. Usually it's used by men for women, but I think that it's very classy to call a man or a woman darling. It's very elegant.
Would you say hi darling to your friends?
Some people do. I would not. I would probably say hello my lovely if it was a friend.
Then we have pumpkin.
I'm gonna say meh. I think it's cute, but I'm still gonna say meh.
Classic. Everybody uses pumpkin. My cat is called Pumpkin. A lot of the times it's usually a man referring to a woman as Pumpkin, but yes, that is a very sweet pet name.
Tacky. I say that sounds like you're talking to a child. I don't know. I don't want to be called a vegetable.
But would you use it to talk to your kids, for instance?
Yeah, I've heard parents use the pumpkin as a pet name for their children. That's more common in America.
Cutie patootie.
Yes, all the way. I use cutie patootie all the time. I think some people find that it's very infantile, so they might use it for children only. But I think if you find that your partner is endearing and precious or sweet, I think cutie patootie works.
I think it's tacky.
But would you use it with a kid, for instance?
Absolutely. I think it's more of a kid-friendly type of pet name. Sure.
Yes. I love that one. I think it's super cute, and I like the word cute. So I use that one a lot. I like that one.
With your kids, or would you use it with your boyfriend or husband?
I use it with my boyfriend as well.
But can you give us an example? In which context would you say that? So, hello, cutie patootie.
Okay, so I think that some men might be uncomfortable with being called a cutie patootie, but I'm sorry, if a man does something that's very sweet or very cute, I'm just gonna do like this. I'm like, you're such a cutie patootie. I would totally do that.
É o fofucho. In Portuguese, I think you would say, oh, que fofucho. What about pudding?
Pudding? No, but pudding? Like pudding, like without the G on the end. So if it's less formal, I think it would be okay.
Tacky, for me, but it's more of a Southern expression in America. You find someone Southern, they probably use pudding. Like, hey, pudding.
Hey, pudding to a girl or to a guy as well?
Seems more like something a girl would say to a boy in the South. Yeah.
Pudding, I would not say. What I would say that I would love, I think it's okay, is pudding. You have to say it with a Southern accent because then it doesn't work. So you say pudding, no G. It's Puiddin, pudding.
What about muffin?
Oh, that's almost like pudding. Yeah, I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. It sounds tacky to me.
Tacky to you? And is it also a Southern expression, a Southern word?
I think it'd be more Southern. Yeah, someone call each other muffin. Hey, muffin.
Yeah, it's a classic pet name, but I don't know. I don't like it. But it is a very classic name. It's used a lot. Yeah.
I always associate muffin with muffin top. So I would think that would be tacky if someone called me muffin.
And can you tell us what muffin top means?
Is when you wear jeans that are too tight and your midsection, your belly, and the sides hang over the top of your jeans.
Baby or babe?
All the time. It's the best one. Everybody uses it. Babe, baby.
I think they're okay, but I have never used them because I think it's overused. But I think it's okay, but I just think it's overused.
I like babe. Baby's a little much. I like babe though. I think because my boyfriend's British, we don't use that one because I don't think it's very common over there. He doesn't use any pet names for me.
Oh my God, do we have a problem here? No, I'm just kidding. Sweetie.
It's okay. It's endearing. I think it's cute.
Meh, because I think people usually use that word for children or for people who are younger. I have a lot of friends that call me sweetie. I don't know. I've never had a partner call me sweetie.
Yeah, I like that one too. I'll use sweetie. I use sweetie pie, sweetie. Yeah, I like that.
And what about sweetheart?
Same thing. Not something that in my experience that I've used in my relationships. And again, usually it's for younger children.
I think that would actually be more of like for a little girl, actually. When we were talking about children earlier, I think that would be one of the terms that I would use for a little girl.
Yeah.
Princess and prince.
Tacky if you're saying it to an adult. I think it's one thing to call your daughter princess, but it's not as common to call a boy, like your son, you wouldn't say like, oh, hello, little prince.
I think that's tacky, actually. Not for me, because maybe for a little girl that would be okay, if you call her princess. But to call your partner that, I wouldn't.
Tacky. Tacky. I see that a lot with younger children. So you would call, if you have a son, oh my God, he's your prince, he's your everything. Yes. But the pet name, no.
Bae.
I actually think that's one of the tackiest. Just my personal opinion. No, I think that's way overused, and I think that for me it's one of the tackiest actually.
I use it sometimes, but I have to be honest. Partners like it. They all hate it. So I'm probably gonna have to say tacky.
Boo.
Boo, same thing. Feels tacky coming from me. I'll say to my boyfriend, like, you do you, boo, when he has to go do something, or, or if he's like, do you think I should do this or I should do this? I'll say, like, you do you, boo.
Okay, just because it rhymes and it's funny.
Boo. I love that. I love that word. I grew up in a community where boo was used all the time, and it's very endearing. It's very full of love and full of caring. So that one is a big okay for me.
And how would you use it? Can you give us an example?
How's my boo? I miss you, boo. I still actually send it to a lot of my friends. I talk to my friends that way.
Okay, so it's not just for boyfriend or girlfriend, it's also for your friends.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yes, of course. Okay, that's wonderful to say beautiful. And my partner, who is a man, I tell him all the time, I say, babe, you look so beautiful today. And to give your partner a compliment is super important because it's not just a pet name. It is showing your appreciation and your gratitude for your partner.
I think that gets an okay for me. I think that that more women should be called beautiful by their partners. In a gay relationship, I'm not sure that it fits in that respect. I call my partner handsome. So that's the opposite side of that. So I think it's okay.
I like that. He does have a pet name for me. He calls me beautiful. I lied.
Next is Cookie or Cookie Monster.
What's funny is that I speak Spanish with my partner, and in Spanish, cookie is galletita. So we're always saying hello cookie or hello galletita. So that gets an okay for me because I love cookies, and it just makes me think of sweets and deliciousness.
So in Portuguese, it would be like something like, oi, minha bolachinha, a minha bolachinha, o meu biscoitinho.
I love that. It's just as fun in Portuguese as it is in Spanish.
Cookie Monster sounds tacky. It almost sounds like you eat too much or something. I don't know. I don't like that. Cookie, I feel like all the food ones are in the South, like pudding, cookie, muffin. I feel like those are all Southern expressions. Yep.
Tacky? I've heard of people maybe in the 50s, in the 1950s, they had a nickname, Cookie. But as a pet name, I've never heard that. So no.
Sugar?
Sugar. Oh, same thing. It's okay. I just don't hear it much here because it's more of a Southern expression.
Again, it's just like pudding. If you're going to use it, it has to be sugar. Sugar, not sugar. Sugar. You're my sugar. But I would still say it's a meh because it's not common.
I think it's maybe old, right? Because I remember a song, it's sugar. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes.
Oh, honey, honey.
Oh, honey, honey.
Sugar.
That's the other one that we use in Spanish. Azúcar. Hola, azúcar. Hello, sugar. Right.
Really?
So that's an okay for me as well because we use that in a very loving, very fun, joking manner.
And then the last one is love. Would you ever say, hey, love?
All the time. Okay. Yes. Love, love is the most important thing that we have in this world. And when someone makes love, you should always, why not? Call them love. I mean, I have friends that I call them love and they call me love. And if you can use the word, use it. It has a lot of power.
I would say meh for the partner, but I would say okay for family and friends and like loved ones. For me, I call my dearest girlfriends, my friends that are girls, I call them love all the time.
I'm hoping I'll get upgraded to love eventually. Maybe when we get married, but right now it's like, I hear a lot of British couple friends that I'm friends with. They'll say like, "Oh, what do you think, love?" Or what do you want to eat later, love?
Okay, but this is a British thing, right? Americans would not say like, "Hi, love."
They might, but I don't hear it very much. I don't know if at all. But I do. I hear it when I go to England.
Então Então, gente, o que acharam da minha Techiness Scale? Eu aprendi um monte com esse vídeo e mais do que isso, eu me diverti muito com a variação nas respostas dele, né? O que era brega pra um não era brega pra outro, e a mesma coisa aqui no Brasil, o que é breguinha, tipo chamar alguém de fofucho, pra um é brega, pro outro é normal, enfim. O importante é a gente mostrar o nosso amor pras pessoas que a gente gosta. Então me diga aqui nos comentários o que achou desse vídeo e se você usa algum term of endearment, algum pet name com a pessoa que você gosta. Então me conta aqui nos comentários como que você chama a pessoa que você gosta. Você acha fofucho brega? Eu confesso que eu acho um pouquinho tacky, viu? Mas eu chamo de amor, eu chamo de mo, de mozão, e talvez isso seja brega pra outras pessoas também, mas that's okay. Todo mundo é brega em algum momento da vida e tá tudo bem, né? Então, se gostou desse vídeo, não deixa de clicar em gostei e de se inscrever aqui no English in Brazil para mais dicas de inglês toda semana. See you!